Sense Nation.
Sense Nation.
Sense Nation.
This is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality.
Welcome to Sense Nation.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Karibu sana. This is where we make sense of life and reality, to liberate the mind on the truth of life in general. I choose to think of it as a pool of opinions that make sense because we are intelligent beings, and there is reason behind it, with the truth in it. So we will see things in our different ways by the end of every episode. We're getting into conversation and drive around the paths we have crossed, and coming to this point where we make sense of life and reality. This part where I mentioned in the introduction that it's a pool of opinions that make sense because we are intelligent beings.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that you said being scary is still have interpreted it is man, everything that man has already made already has a fault or something somehow. So how do you even trust yourself, since you're still that you're making the right decision? How do you know that this is, when you get into that darkness, how do you know it's supposed to be this road or this road? And yet, you're still a man as everybody else. So a place where I'm feeling I'm thinking of is the space that we're supposed to give ourselves and other people, because at the end of it all, we're still human. We fall under the same templates. It's cold, you don't want to put on a sweater. It's you see a fire, you want to run the other side. If this seat is not comfortable for me, it will not be comfortable for the next person. It's like simple Bible. Do unto others as you want them do unto you.
Yeah.
So given that I need people to understand that, because you've said why are we talking even about this unconventional things? Why are we talking about why do you feel the need of speaking our minds out? Because there's a kind of pressure that is getting us to the wrong place. With that is so what is this pressure?
What's the pressure that comes with that? With you trying to be able to I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I can see your train of thought. It's really going deep into the wormhole of your brain. No, I get you. Okay, let me help you.
Yeah, help me.
I see where you're going with this. You know, this is a topic this is a thing that I've been going through in these times. Especially this is COVID times, because I've had time to now go into the really scary parts of my brain. Whereby you know, for the longest time, I don't know if it's because of just the household that I grew up in, the kind of person that I am, being a creative, and just also I like to throw this in there, also just being a Taurus, just born in the day that I was born in, right? There's something that's just called, and I keep saying, it's called intuition, the gut feeling, right? Something when you know, it's like the signals that it sends you from your gut to your brain. And you can feel, you walk into a room and immediately you can sense something is just kind of off. Something is just not sitting right with your stomach. Anything that just suddenly your body is sending really intense signals everywhere. And this is like also the sort of decision making, the kind of approach I take to my decision making, how I make decisions, right? It's based on intuition. It's a win. It's very good and bad thing, because we go with your intuition and it might lead you in a place where you will really get burnt, right? Because maybe you followed it based on the signals that person is giving you, and you don't know, maybe the signals that person is giving you could be a way to manipulate you. right? Because people are very good with that. They're psychopaths, unfortunately, or people just good at the craft of manipulating the situation. When it comes to a said space with now what we are talking in terms of society, it's all those signals that you feel that lead you a different path that you should be looking towards, because then you can uncover that stone on your own, make those, if it's to make, because you'll never know whether it's a good or a bad mistake until you've done it, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's what I kind of want people to understand, is that you shouldn't say, oh, I'm making a good decision or a bad decision, because you can never know until later down the line that was actually the best decision that I could have ever made. And I think with that, it takes a lot of, again, like a lot of guts, because a lot of us are programmed subconsciously to follow certain set of rules. And it's not to say that you just go being rogue and just doing your own thing and just getting into a lot of trouble, but it's a sense of having and learning, like, a space of just knowing that a lot of these, pressures that are coming down on you are from a place of even fear. Think of it like that. Society is scared of people just being independent. They need people to be this tribe of following and sheep, and it's only good to a certain point, but it's limits. Our brains are too advanced for that kind of thinking, of just this collective way of life. And I'm saying it in the sense of it's just being comfortable for you for maybe your parents to know that you decided to on a path that is more comfortable and safe, rather than this unconventional way of being free and more thinking in the sense of beyond just a paycheck every month and things like that. And that's just the bare minimum I'm scratching, by the way.
Yeah, but it's true. It's something. That's a scratch. That's a true scratch.
Yeah.
I feel we are so amazing. We are so amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it takes so much for you to realize that as a person, given the settings that you've grown up with and all that. And I'm just like, all these problems come from a place of, somebody said ego. Ego being a place that blocks you. Is a block.
Yes.
Towards your truth.
Jesus.
So
when you talk about ego, oh my god, I don't even know if I should say this on camera or like on audio.
Yeah,
but then it's like, because when I was looking at, funny enough, when you gave me your script, let me roll you back a little bit. And I was talking to my friend about it, and I was talking to another friend, and children at home, we don't do this, but we don't try this at home. But it's always these kind of questions that always remind me the first time that I tripped on acid. It's like very like psh, like my mind just psh, like opened up with sort of things. I'm not asking people to do drugs and whatever. I'm just saying there are certain things, certain sort of experiences in life that can only be done once. And like when you do those kind of experiences, that's also another topic for another day. But I thought to bring it here because it's so funny you brought up ego, because yesterday we were just talking about that ego. And how ego just literally comes in the way of a lot of things. Pretty much, it's like it's that pride of like, like you are not capable of doing this. But what is that you're not capable of? It's like once that dies, you'll be able to like jump forward to such greatness. You get me? Yeah.
I look at ego actually is I feel like life is a video. When I sit back, I'm honored with your presence here in this room. I think I'm watching all of this like VR, and so sometimes I feel like life is for you to live. It's first of all, it's a gift.
Yeah. So
how are you supposed to use a gift? Take care of it well, wipe it well. It's something that you're supposed to add on it, you add on it. It's something that's supposed to vanish. You make sure you do the service and make sure it's well vanished and all that. So first of all, being a gift, it's here.
Why is that a thing also?
No, because it's just a thing. Because you come to my house, I'm by myself. I'm eating with plastic, plastic cup, plastic plate. Hey, you come to my house, I'm like, yo.
We have the fine china.
I give you the black plates and the black cup, the black ceramic cup, and then only
the ones that match, actually.
Actually, yeah.
You know?
That's why the plastics also match.
Oh my word.
No, but still, given just that is, I feel it's a template. First of all, it's a template.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Yeah.
We say it has been said we're like standing at the beach because we're all the same size, none bigger, none smaller.
Yeah.
We're all the same. So life is a gift. Everybody's great. But now people feel I feel people forget about themselves.
Yeah.
And they're easy to look at the next person because it's always easier. For me, I cannot see myself until I look at a mirror. For me right now,
but that's also a reflection. Do you know that? Like when you look at yourself in the mirror, that's a reflection, because even
not you.
It's not really you. That's just a reflection.
So
you're really you. You'll never. Actually, I was reading this the other day. You will never ever get to see your real self, and never get to hear your real face, because everything you hear is a recorded sound. Everything you see is a reflection. Everything you see is a picture. Everything you think is a memory. So it's like jokes on you.
Yeah, but it's so abstract but still so real.
Exactly.
And just look at how abstract it is, but so real that gets us to depression, gets us to all these things that we do that you can actually now see with our eyes. You can see genocide. You can see all these Black Lives Matter, genocide, and all that. And back and forth in politics in Kenya, and as in just everywhere you're like, whoa. As in you're all acting like you're so big, you're so.
That's where the ego plays it. So it's interesting you bring that, because that's why we have these situations that happen all over the world with race, with tribalism, with money, and it's like we forget why we were brought into this earth. And that's one of the reasons, even when somebody asked me, what is your ideal setting for FreeMinds, is like, when I thought about it, I thought of like people, and that's why Theodore became it. It's like you have no, like the way we think and we hope beyond death we will go into this spiritual world where, of course, there's no body, it's all spirits, formless creatures. And I thought, imagine if that was actually our reality today. Like that was actually us right now. No skin color, no this, I don't know, race, this stuff like that. And I feel like that way we would appreciate each other so much. And then our gift after this world would actually be in a body. That was, of course, maybe doesn't expire. But that was kind of just a thought process, in that space of like imagining a better world for all of us.
Can you imagine? Sometimes I can split the world into two. Man, woman, just that. Other than that, you get now Chinese, American. Other man, woman, strip everybody, just 2 legs, head, 2 hands. Mom, this is just the biggest difference. But still, I came to this girl, you date and then you're like, you know what? There's no difference much about being a man and being a woman. It's just now within us, based on our features and hormones and blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
There's some things that this person will do in this land, this other person doing this land.
Yeah.
After that, there's nothing else.
Yeah.
Because after man and woman is health is vital to this. Sex, school.
But we'll still have problems. I mean, I guess that's also the reason why things like feminism happened. But even if the beginning of that kind of movement was even to bring forward both rights to be in equal form. So I think the ideal would be just people just being in this formless state.
Then let me ask you, like, what's your idea of dating? What's the part you play? What's the part that your partner plays? Your mom plays.
So we've just jumped ship. We've decided now we're jumping into that topic.
No, we're just trying to
paint a picture right now.
Yeah, and again, I'm trying to show also FreeMind, like, this is how like I feel ripple effect. An idea will come from this point.
Yeah.
It will touch on so many things. You're like, mbona mvua inafanya kuwe na traffic, mbona inafanya sijui kuwe na nini. But if you ever got that breakdown, you'll be like, you know,
Yeah.
it's okay. Because somebody ameona hivyo kuna mtu atakukimbia nyumbani, you're like, that makes sense, everybody's on the road.
Wow.
So, but you see, it can touch on so many things because somebody, maybe another guy was waiting, a woman was about to give birth and she's been caught up in there. You got another person, they're running home to tell another. And there's so many things in just one thing. The ripple effect is so far away. So that right now, free mind now, man, woman. That's how.
So from man, woman, how do you feel like I think of dating?
Yeah, what do you think then is your role as a lady and his role as a man? With, like, if you were to put it with equal rights, or feel everybody's free to be who they need to be?
Yeah, okay. I mean,
What
my
is
ideal
your
is that
boss?
we both can be equal, but society will never let us do that thing. Like, if there's that, you know, cohesiveness of saying, oh, a man should be able to like take care of the whole house and you know, foot all the bills, take care of me, all these kind of things, which I feel also, you know, foot, right? But it's always a conversation. I feel like all, you know, relationships or dating scenarios are so different. You can't just say, oh, this is what a man should do, or this is what a woman do. You also have to have a conversation, the both of you. What are you able to bring to the table? I mean, if you all want to be equal, are you earning, let's say if it's talking on finances, are you both earning the same amount of money for you to be able to say that you can both, you know, bring everything towards the table? If not, have a conversation. Maybe this is what you can do and this is what you can do, and then you bring it like that. This is where a lot of the breakdown, I don't know where the breakdown in communication comes in. It's where like there's a set number of expectations as a woman, just because of what you've been taught or how the household you've been brought up in, you bring it to that relationship, which is so false. And I feel like that's really toxic for that kind of relationship to flourish in the first place. I mean, I think maybe my I always give myself an example because I only know how to be able to use myself as an example. Growing up with a single dad, there was things that I saw that I was like, okay, this is great. Like, I would love to feel like I'm in a very secure and happy and you know home, but it also comes with a lot of like pressure as well. I could tell, like, as I was growing up, now getting into a teenager, getting into like, you know, early like 20s, I was like, I don't want my daughter to feel this much. Yeah, what's the other word for pressure? This much pressure, you know? This, because it's a lot.
From what side? Okay, where's the pressure from what exactly?
Because
having a daughter,
having to raise two daughters, having to be a single dad, having to be able to switch between roles of, you know, being a dad, being a mom at the same time, and then just, you know, also just having to be his own traditional self, which is another, you know, topic to discuss. But I think with every sort of, because now we're in 2020, surely I think it's we should be having more discussions of like how best to be like life partners and how best to support each other, because this is how you find men, you know, being in the state of deep depression and they can't even talk to their wives about how they are not, you know, they are feeling and how it makes them feel so inferior that they cannot provide, you know. And also women, we should also be not in the business of making men feel inferior just because we are now taking charge in the house. It shouldn't, especially if you care about each other and you have utmost respect, we should be having much more open and better conversations in that regard, in my opinion.
True. No, it's true. Conversation brings understanding.
Yeah.
And I think that's everything.
And not
We don't-
letting
we don't
society talk you into like having that mindset of, because I'm a woman, I should be taken care of. It's nice once in a while, but not, it should be the norm to the point where a man is about to break his back because of that. Like, it's not cool.
When I break down the man-woman thing, I go back down to,
Yeah.
as a parent, when I think about myself as a parent.
Are you a parent?
No.
Oh.
I'd want.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Okay. Okay.
That's it, as in
I
scary.
thought we're giving each other ourselves as examples. So when you say as a parent, I was like, yo, are you a dad?
Okay. Wow. I'm an uncle. I'm a big brother.
Okay.
You know,
Nice.
you
I like those. Good roles.
Yeah, you see this thing, and then you're like, but I'm even putting myself in those shoes because I imagine even our parents had a vision board in their heads, like this is what I'm gonna do.
Of course.
For
Or
my,
maybe they
for my
didn't.
kids. Or maybe they did. But still, society, as in given their days, is a man, a woman. You know, as in,
Yeah.
so there's that section already. But what would I want, like, for my son and daughter? To get to that point, what would I do? What is it that I'll tell my daughter for them to be able to handle life?
Yeah.
You know, I know life is rough. I know life is hard. I know that. But I feel it's a role of a parent to equip the kid to face the world and be the best that they can be as a person.
And also a chance to be able to see life in a very different way.
Exactly. No, you have the key. That's the thing. That's what are you going to show them? I want to be a carpenter. Most definitely my kid will know about wood. But how do I want to be a carpenter, and I want my kid to be in Ferrari working, I don't know, as a mechanic or something like that. It's not that it's impossible. It's obviously I know I'll have to convert something somewhere for this person to have that. But if in the case of me being a mechanic, I know this work is going to feed my kid, is going to not even all that. You're single, so first of all, to woo your woman, to take her out and all that, for you to bride price and all that, for you to get a kid. Seriously, so
Or not.
I'm not.
They don't have to do that. They really don't have to follow those footsteps. Because right now you're talking the textbook version of just everybody's life.
True.
And you're feeding in the idea if they don't get that, then they're not going to be okay and happy. Again, it's them to forge their own paths. Like children, and I would like to ask you a question. What do you think, like, bringing children into this world what contribution do you think they would have? Or is it just a matter of like, oh, I need my offspring to sort of continue in this life without me situation?
No, you see the thing that usually kids usually feel, I wish my parents told me this, I wish my parents told me this.
Yeah.
And I really do appreciate, my mom sent me a photo of storybooks that we had as kids. Still Skin, Pinocchio, ABC, coloring books. And like in one of them, she sent me a photo of my handwriting, borrow once and return and then something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I appreciate reading. I don't remember, as in, yes, I remember the story in general.
Are you still
but
loving
again,
that up to today?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But can you see the impact of that thing that you don't even remember right now?
Yeah.
But still, that thing still helped come through to make me who I am. Nowadays, my mom is like, I'm ready to be that writer, and then you give her, she's like, English. And yeah, I got it, took you to school. I'm like, hey, bring that. And another time you're like, hey, bring your English here, come on. You see, because that is what she's given to me to help me. Right now it looks so easy, me writing letters, emails, doing a script. Because in school we are doing composition and writing minutes, and I don't know, doing composition and all these things. They look, and you're wondering, oh, this thing was so tiring. But now you do it so easily, you're like, oh, thank God I ever did it.
Yeah, thank God they insisted.
So you see, a parent is there also for the same, to expose you to all those things. And a parent who's just like, let them be, is not giving them enough information. Because like right now I feel like I would be talking to my kids like, you know, for them to have content to refer to by the time they're meeting something. And you know, for kitchen, and then you find water is spilling. You never tell your kids about a tap and what to check.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, go back, and maybe even they don't know they're supposed to call somebody.
Yeah.
The whole house is flooded.
Simple tactics, you know. Yeah.
That they get to be, they grow up, and some about consciousness. These guys are saying self-development. Once you give it from that age,
Right.
self-developed. They to make you strong enough to speak like this. Once you've lost your dad and still found yourself, that shows you still speak of him in so many ways that you find, you know what? Oh yeah, baby, I'm not doing this thing on my own. He's still speaking to me till this moment.
Yeah.
Yet it's something that happened so long time ago. See, that understanding helps me
Yeah.
to understand, like, whoa, this is how I'm supposed to handle my kids.
Right.
So even that man-woman thing is to understand. Or let me go back to my kids. If it's like a daughter, I want to know she's safe,
Yeah.
to know she can read and she can handle maths and handle herself out here. And like I can imagine your dad, you're like, hey, now look at Nyacomba, they have FreeMind Sessions and doing all this thing. I bet he's proud wherever he is, compared to me never thinking about what I want to give my kid, and then all this happens and what was my role as a parent really.
Right.
So I think we need to get back to all of that to make sense
Yes.
of life,
Yes.
our realities, and see how to input to make it better, because still the keys is with us.
Yeah.
You need to find the light within us to be able to all these bad things happening, you're still cruising, you're like, whoa. And never, you see complete darkness, you're not sure. There are days where it's in the morning, I do not know how the evening looks like. You're not even having a picture of, you don't think you'll even see evening.
Yeah.
Pressures of the day, deadlines, chaos,
Yeah.
and you see the next day, you're like, I never thought I'd see even yesterday evening. Here you
I
are.
know. It's like, wow, even me the other day just turning 27, I didn't, it just feels like time just went like that.
Memory.
I was
Very
7,
recent,
I was 17, I was 27.
Yeah.
That's how I remember my years. It's like, I don't know.
Now can you imagine all these abstract things now really tying us down to make our lives and realities really bad, and yet they're so abstract. You're like, oh shit, 7, 17, 27. Yeah, out of here you're 57. Seeing kids here who look nearly like you, you're like, oh my gosh, when did this happen? And like when parents say like, oh my gosh, I remember the other day I was running for my school, you're looking at this person, you're like, they were so big, you're like, you are a runner. How were you a runner?
Yes.
So, but again, I'm seeing my friends, I met with my friends yesterday, and people with my boy is getting stomachs already, and conversations are different, all these things are different.
Is it because they are married and have children now?
No, but yeah, now they are coaching and actually, yeah, not married, but coaching and maybe living together with their partners.
Okay.
But one of them, I know them from primary school. Same primary, 6 or 6, 8, same high school, same campus, extending to now.
Wow.
So I can see a transition. I can, when you
Same
meet
thing,
him,
man.
you can see the whole thing, and you're like,
Same thing.
what is life? What
What
is
is
reality?
life? Like with my best friend, we were 6 years old, and now she has a child who is my godson, and she's married, she's moved in. Like, it's like, wow, look at that. Like, we were kids at some point, and then that happens.
So I really do like FreeMind, actually just FreeMind, and then either FreeMind Sessions, because I think a lot of people should have a lot of FreeMind Sessions with themselves.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
with COVID-19, because I like that thing that has that got people back to their places, and you're like, oh my gosh, in this space now, I'm like, oh,
You're home.
now you're alone. There's no okay Monday. You're coming home so tired. You're waking up with not enough sleep, just to go back to normal life, to work. So I feel COVID-19 came and hit us back down to give us time to find ourselves.
Do you think so? Do you really think so? It's just like some conspiracy of some biochemists trying to like destroy the earth.
Either way, I'm like, there's so many things that happen in this world that I'm just like, you know what? This thing is so vast. By the time you're getting mad about something, there's a whole lot of other things that you're like, what am I supposed to be mad about, and what losing also a lot of time looking around, getting angry, rather than getting to that one thing that you can do. It looks so simple that outgoing that hits society and gets to heal so many, just one and spread so much that at the end of it all, it's a legacy, but how does it even become a legacy? It's because you went past yourself to
Yeah.
other people, and now it's like
It's
a
beyond
flame. It's
you.
like it's a kind of flame. It's
Mm.
shoot onto the next,
Yeah.
and out of that, life is just on another level. It's not about the money. It's not about. It's just a life well spent. It's just with a bad reality, still converted to become something good,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're helping other people make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Have free minds. Make sense. Just not even of life. Life just.
But
so
what sense is
weird.
it? You know, I was asking you this question
What sense is it?
because the sense is we say common sense is not common to others or something. What is that sense? I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
Common
but like
sense is not common to all.
Yeah, it's not common to all, right?
Yeah.
But I have been starting to wonder, like, this sense that making sense of it is up to you, really. It's like like the same way you say this is my reality is very different from somebody else. You know, when we say our people's problems are different, like that's very real to very intense spectrums, because maybe what I think I need maybe say 100,000. That's like my problem right now. Versus somebody who says they really need 1,000 shillings. That's their biggest problem at the moment. So I always, because with recent events, especially with like COVID-19, really showing us how even the haves and the have-nots in this country, for example, is very intense. Like those people who can decide that they can stay home, work from home, be okay being at home, vis-a-vis people who, like what you are saying, who really staying at home is not a thing that they can do, because them has always been a day-to-day sort of reality of getting food every day, getting money every day, getting their daily thing every day, right?
Yeah.
And it sits very unwell with me when we sort of try to bunch up everybody together and say we are one when we are really not.
Yeah.
Because that's also a beautiful and a beautiful and a bad thing at the same time, because we're trying to help people with the same scale rather than come to their scale and figure out how we can help them in that regard and how their reality can be much more better. But I don't know.
True. So what is sense? Sense, I feel, in whatever reality,
Yeah.
as remember we're intelligent beings. I may know that person who needs 1,000 is because that 1,000 is sorted.
Yeah.
The person who needs 100,000 is because it makes sense for 100,000, not 50,000,
Yeah.
100,000.
Yeah.
For this other person is 1,000 because why? I feel we are well equipped from whatever side of the triangle. We are higher side, lower side. Life is vast still. You make a wrong decision, is bad. You make a right decision, is whatever. Good decision, bad decision, there's still life after that. There's nothing much
True story, like we said.
So with that, having life after that is because it will make sense that when you see somebody in a certain situation, and then you hear the story, you come at the end of it all. You know the story of you're being told, and even in like 10 years ago, another 20 years ago, and then you get to a point you'll be like, it makes sense for why you're at this point.
Yeah. Oh, looking at how sort of the things that happened brought you to the point that you are in.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and you see, by it's a very like an autobiography. That thing goes way to the point of you seeing somebody's stories, the highs, the lows, the conclusions, the challenges, the impossibles, and they still made it.
Yeah.
Why do people like doing that? Because that's life. That's the life of somebody, and you see everything, and at the end of it all, you hear them. You be like, "What's going? Why would I want to live with that?" You hear somebody has been doing this thing for 10 years, a musician in his hit, and then here you are, you've done this thing for 1 year, and you're so frustrated.
That's the whole point of it.
You hear his story.
Yeah.
why am I not like that person? And then you hear the story, you're like, that's why. That makes sense. You see, so it does not make sense for me to be frustrated in 1 year into this business. Yet, somebody else has put in 10 years of work.
You need to put in the work.
So, yeah, you see a nice couple looking, you think like, hey, I can do that also. And then you get your person, you think you're going to do all that, and you're like, hey, this in some sense that's not making, and I'm not getting that picture that I saw that other side.
Yeah.
You go ask that person, what's up? How does this even happen?
Yeah.
This person explains A, B, C, D, E, F, H, and you're like, that makes sense. Why not go and do it myself? This other side.
But you can't compare. Like it's like as I said, it's so all of us, our paths have been forged so differently. So I hope, and even if, and that's the thing, you again, like I always said it, you have to go out and forge your own path. The thing is, with any sort of something that you're so passionate about and you're so willing to like take it to the next level, I think there's nothing that can actually stop you in that sense for going for what you want and letting everything else fall into place. Because that way you're not trying to say copy somebody else's experience. Like you can learn from experiences, and that's something that I'm a very big advocate for. If you can learn that from somebody else and don't repeat the same thing, kudos to you. But do not try to copy somebody in the hopes that you will receive same results, because I think that is just a recipe for disaster. Yeah.
But still, there's a big thing I think of a lot is balance.
Okay.
Balance where I feel everything is a balance.
Okay.
As somebody else says story, there's something to pick off and something not to pick off.
Okay.
There is,
In what sense?
In what sense? Just as you say, don't pick something from somebody else's uni and then apply it to your own situation, thinking it will become the same.
Okay.
So there are things to pick, like I think that's another thing society should be doing, and how it listens to and how it takes information. Because
society is flawed.
True. No. Okay, let me not speak about society. Let me speak about individuals. How they should be taking information. It's for you to take the information, and even the Bible, I think, it says the same. When a preacher when a preacher is doing some giving you the word, you should take the word and investigate, and it says that for itself. So I feel like, well, take information and be like, where does this plug in
to your life?
To your life?
Yes. Where does it apply?
I give you an iPad and you don't have a place to plug in an iPad. How does that?
Yeah.
You see, now this is information. This is, I give you a smartphone and you're still using it as a medical noise. Can you imagine living a life like that? Capabilities you never. As you just use your phone for calls and text and the touch. You have 4G, you never used. You have a camera, you never used. You have all these apps you never used. Can you imagine living a life like that? That's my fear actually. That's my fear of not making sense of this life. You live like that.
I get you. Totally get you.
Totally get me.
Normally, Kamisis don't use them as Samsungs.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no.
No, the other way around. Don't use a
Sorry.
Samsung like I'm using.
You don't use a Samsung as a Kamisis.
Because life is that vast actually. You can get to a place you'll be like, hey man, you are enabled.
Yeah.
You're a free mind. Can you imagine now getting to that place, eh? My guy, you're not 2G, you're 4G right now.
Yeah, you're 5G.
5G.
Yeah, no, it's with, let me tell you, it's like it's an everyday process. You know, the other day, even with, and it's funny because like COVID has had ways in which it's like has really made us face a lot of things that we probably have been running away from. In the name of we're busy, we're doing work, we're grinding every day, you're always out and about, you're just trying to occupy your space with a lot of things so that you don't sit back and really face the demons that's within you, right?
True.
And I think even me, I started realizing that what's happening with my life I'm so good at giving people advice and giving people this sort of, tools to sort of figure out their life so well, but it's not happening it's not happening the same case towards me. Like, I'm not doing the same thing to my I'm not doing the same thing I'm not doing the same thing to my life, right? And my
You're good at giving advice, but you're not using your
like
own
people,
advice.
like my life needed to be free-minded, like the relationships, the sort of things, all those kind of stuff, which I wasn't facing because I was so busy doing it for other people for so long, and I was forgetting my life needed some free-mindedness.
That is what I was saying. People, I feel that is human nature setting.
Yeah.
The Bible talks about the log and the speck. They're using the speck in your neighbor's eye.
You have a lot of
noticing the log.
religious references. Are you religious?
I'm spiritual.
Good.
No, but I feel the Bible is a guide. Is a guide. If you get to understand it,
Yeah.
it is so philosophical. You'll be like, oh my.
No, it's
gosh.
true. I completely give
Oh
that
my gosh,
100%.
yeah.
Yeah.
So even like that for the log and the speck, that's like I feel that thing of living your own life compared to looking at others and giving them as much as you can give advice.
Yeah.
Use the same advice because giving advice, but then you're usually very wise until you're like, oh yeah. I feel like you feel like an ancestor that time.
Yeah.
Because it's something good, as in you will give good advice always to other people, but never do it yourself. Because I feel it's that log and the speck. You're seeing the speck in somebody else, you're like, hey, no, there you can do this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Yeah, there you can do this. But again, you're forgetting all this that you're giving up. It's something you should be using yourself.
Yeah.
We are a template. Remember that.
Yeah.
We are all the same.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever's good for somebody else,
May not.
no, will definitely be good for you. Unless, okay,
I beg to differ.
to some degrees.
Yeah.
Like giving you tea and then you're like, no, don't put some sugar. But still, the idea of something warm, that's kawaida.
True.
So it's tea, coffee, warm water with a lemon in it.
Yeah.
You see, now those are now different settings, but still,
Yeah.
you need to sleep on a bed to have a good posture. You still need to walk. There's no day in your life you'll ever be like, you can stay within a building for 10
Yeah.
months. We all need the sun. We
Yeah.
all need food. We all need water.
So just houseplants with complicated emotions.
Hey, too many. What? Hey, not even like a house plant though.
Mhm.
But you get to the concept. Whatever, you're all the same.
To some degree.
But we are all the same.
Yes.
You wake up, you're like, hey, you're hungry. You want to drink water. Here you go.
Yeah.
You're all. I'd say even a rich person. This is up. You see, you look at their houses. No house will ever miss a bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You never miss a kitchen. You never miss a living room that we can sit together to conversate.
Okay.
Manata, the same. There's a place for putting your goods. You people, can you ask guys, a billionaire, you want to have a farm, raise your family. Why are these rich people even doing whatever they do? Like, you have big person say, I'm for my family, for my children, kids. You're like, oh my gosh. Here a farmer back there home trying to sell 100 bob kind of cereals and all that.
Yeah.
He's done this for his kids too.
Yeah.
We are all the same at the end of it, or you're like, even you have 10 cars, you still have to walk to your house. This is still very vital, just walking.
Yeah.
So, we are the same. Different settings, yes,
Yeah.
but if you don't take care of whatever's same about us,
Yeah.
everything else just, a rich person who does not take care of his family will have the same agony
Yeah.
of a poor person who never takes care of his family.
True.
So, this is Sense Nation. Sense Nation.
The Sense Nation.
Sense Nation. Where we make sense of life and reality.